Okay, welcome back to another recording of Stellaris Apocalypse playthrough. I'm noticing that when I rewatch my videos on the net, they're not as crisp as they are on my computer. And I think that might be because of my web browser. I'm using Internet Explorer, or the E-Explorer now. Apparently, Chrome works very well with this, but I find that when I use Chrome, the pages freeze, or Chrome just randomly shuts down. So I'm not sure if that's been fixed since the last time I tried it. But yeah, I might have to change my... I'm not sure if you watching on Chrome, it looks a bit crisper for you than it would be on the E-Explorer. Any comments about which Windows you're using, which Internet Explorer you're using, would help with me making sure that the quality of the video is good visually, not with me playing it. No, it's not 100%. I'm new to this. I'm still learning. Once I get my video editing cred up, I will start editing the videos and making them more bearable. Skipping through the long parts. I know there's a way to record it, fast forward it afterwards, and voice over the fast forward, and you can explain like I fast forwarded it for so many years because literally nothing was happening, so on and so forth. Okay. Oh, the sensor array, blah blah blah. Yeah, awesome. Also, I was near the end when I finished the last video. That's pretty good. I didn't realize it was that fast. So, one video is random, but it could be up to about 10 years. So, each video will be one sector of a megastructure. So let's have a look at this. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. So, oh, 20,000. Awesome. So it's even cheaper than the science array, or science nexus. So I'm going to do that. It's going to take 1,800 days. So we'll keep that up. We'll make sure that we keep an eye on the tabs that come up. Yeah, so basically all I do is, instead of talking about what's happening, I talk about what I plan for this, the channel. More than happy to try any other games you have suggestions for. If there's a game out there you're not sure about, you would like me to play a few rounds just so you can see what the beginning of the game is like. I don't want to ruin endgame stuff for people. But with Stellaris, it's been out for a couple of years. The endgame's pretty well known, so I'm not worried about playing the endgame here. It's not gonna... If you're brand new to Stellaris and you've just started, I doubt you'd be watching these videos to the end. You'd probably just watch the first 2 or 3 to see how you start up your empire. But I'm assuming if you're still watching, you're happy with what I'm doing. I don't see why you would be. I'm not 100% on this. There are many more players out there that can do a better job than me. But I'm hoping that once I get this myself sorted, I'll be able to edit, get the source done the way people are like. I think my main problem is my videos go too long. I did a quick search and I checked up with the guy who I think is the best Stellaris video vlogger so far, is A-Spec. I checked his page and he does like half-hour videos. He doesn't put too much information in there to completely wipe your mind. He puts enough information there to let you know what's going on and how to learn the game. So I would suggest, if you're looking for a good review on Stellaris, I'd suggest you go check out A-Spec. That's A-S-P-E-C. Okay. I've never met him. I don't know him. I've left a message for him. He hasn't replied yet. But then again, I don't expect him to reply within, I think it was 6 hours. He's probably sleeping, got other things to do. But yeah, my main concern is my fleet. I want to keep it high, but it keeps dropping on its own. And I'm not upgrading. I'm not making any difference to the fleet. Yet it keeps dropping. I don't want to send it out below 100,000 because 100,000 is where most fleets are, and it should be better to maintain itself. I've upgraded the armor quite a bit, and I've upgraded the weapons energy and damage output. So I think even at 86,000, it should be pretty strong. but I don't know why it's dropping from 106 down to 86. I've dropped 20,000 points, and I don't know why. If anything, it should go up in damage. So we'll just have to wait and see what's going on here. Okay. And as if you remember, if you've been watching the videos, as of last video, I'm showing you that the habitats are very useful. So I'm going to be building habitats everywhere on all the star systems, because I can't build more than one science nexus, one galactic array. Okay, so I think I mentioned in my last video, the robots, if they can't be given civil rights or freedom of will, they'll actually revolt. They'll actually evolve to a sentient state and revolt and cause their own little faction. So let's have a look. In the enemies here, let's have a look. So you can see where they've actually created their own little empire in the middle of their empire, and they've taken 4 planets straight away. So now this empire actually has to fight them or make peace with them, and basically they've got their freedom now. They can do whatever they want. They've fought for it, and now they can actually join them as a equal. But a lot of these, even my empire, I picked the wrong civics. I wanted a robotic empire, but I wasn't paying attention to the civics, and my civics don't allow robotic freedoms. So I'm not actually going to build robots, because I don't want to risk losing half my civilization to a faction. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they lost a third. They got 4 planets here, and they got 7. So they lost about a third of their empire to the faction. I don't deal with these because it's late game. I've got all the things I need. All they're asking for is research grants, and I really don't want to bother. Now, with the science megastructure, the science nexus, I don't think it's really worth it. 75 energy, and that's all you get. Late game, that's very little. Late game, you can build it just to boost your research output, but for me, late game, especially if you're building your empire fast, I've only got a small empire, and that's my research minus this is about 400 and 300. So minus this, my research, hang on, that can't be right. It was 500 before I got that. Ah, jeez. These numbers just randomly jump. I had about 500 here before I even started the science nexus. So 500 plus 200 is 700. So where's that extra 100? I don't know. The game is recalculating things randomly, and it doesn't make sense to me. Hopefully ASPEC will do a video on the calculations the game does to work out what you actually get in the end, because I'm pretty sure that was close to 500 before I even built the structure. So my science can only go up, so why did it drop 100? Okay, did I do that? No, I didn't. Research, yeah, I've already got all that. That's for the other one. What's this? Oh, that's the only one that has a green logo, so I'll go for it. As you can see, that was the only one available. Yeah. Okay. I don't think it's really worth it. To get this, you've actually got to use a Unity thing here to build megastructures. I'm building the sensor array now to see if that's worth it. I think to see the entire galaxy working, like what all the factions are doing and what their military might is really good for War Empire. If you want to make sure that your military might is strong enough to defeat the player you're about to attack. There's no point seeing that they've got a 50,000 fleet, attacking them and find they've got 50,000 fleets, so 150, and they're gonna overpower you. With the sensor array, I believe you see every ship, everything. You have constant surveillance of all star systems and empires at all times. So I'm building that at the moment, and we'll see how that goes when I finish building it. So let's have a look. I've built the base of it. Actually, can I click on this? No, I can't. Okay. So these guys help me with my governing ethics. It stops, it slows faction growth, I believe. So that's the only reason I'm using this. If that's not true, if it doesn't stop the faction growth, I don't really care. But at this point, more than happy to continue this. The merchant guides also will swap out 10, 50 or 100 energy for half as many minerals. So for 10 energy you'll get 5 minerals. But at the beginning your energy should be high up, so you can actually do that, because to maintain your minerals you need to spend energy to build mineral processes anyway. It's not really a fair swap, 2 for 1, but it's better than nothing. And again, energy is really easy to create. Like even your star bases can create energy, 6.5, and you get 6 of those. I think it starts out of 4, but then you can upgrade that, and I think there's also something here. Yeah, that's upkeep. Upkeep. Whoa, upkeep of 20. What's this? Ah, Colossus. So I'm going to replace that because I don't have a Colossus. I will let that go. I think one of these actually... See again, listening outpost, sensor range, it doesn't matter. Once you get that sensor array built, all these sensors, you can just replace them. So if you start off with sensors, you can replace them later on. Here we go, +2 energy. So I'm just going to do that. I don't need it. I don't really need anything on here. Citadel is the largest star base, so you start off at an outpost, which doesn't really cost much of anything apart from a few energy and mineral to maintain. No, a few energy, sorry, to maintain. Then that builds up to a starport, then a star base, then a star fortress, and then a citadel. I think there must be a mod out there, because I could have sworn I saw a video of someone with 2 modules. So I'm guessing you can upgrade the modules and have 2, but it might be in a mod. Or maybe it was something they took out after the trials, like the beta. They took out the second module maybe, and that's why I haven't seen it. I'm not entirely sure. So really, I can have up to 26 star bases, which I haven't bothered with. The star bases are these symbols. So every system I own has to have an outpost on it to own that system. That's how your influence works in this game. Instead of having one planet and the influence bubble encompasses the surrounding systems, you actually have to have an outpost, and that outpost will only have an influence bubble of that star system's, I'd say probably Oort cloud. Could be the Oort cloud, I'm not sure. Probably have to be further than that, just half the distance between that and the nearest sun. So it won't be a perfect circle, it will be in a blobbish sort of shape. It's half the distance from this star to that star. That's what your influence is. This border here is my sectors. I've actually divided into 3 sectors: energy production, mineral production, and research. So what I'm doing in here is I'm going to build a whole heap of platforms so that my energy production will go up and up and up. I don't need it obviously, but at this point I just want to get everything up. I want to get my fleet power up, and to do that I need to build more fleet. To build more fleet I need to maintain my minerals and energy at a high level, because the ships actually cost energy and minerals. So if I can keep that high enough, if my fleet does get wiped out, I've got a full mineral production. I can build a lot of ships really fast. Now with the starbase, actually I will actually upgrade this one here all the way. But as you can see, this is just an outpost. These are the potential openings, and these won't open until you upgrade. So I might spend this video just upgrading the starbase. Hopefully I haven't wasted too much time, and I can actually have it fully upgraded by the end of the video. So I'll show you this, that it's an outpost. It's going to upgrade to a starport, and with that this should open a slot here, and I think a slot here. And then for each time you upgrade you get 1, 1, 1, and then for the last one you get 2, I think. But we'll see how we go as we progress through the game. Starbase upgrades. This sensor array, it's already halfway through. We've only been filming 20 minutes. I think I started around 3 AM. I'm not 100% certain on that. It must have been just after 3. I'm pretty sure it was just after 3. So a good 15-20 minutes it's taken to get this far, but also I didn't upgrade immediately. So what did I want to do? I wanted to So what I want to do is get my energy production up a bit. I don't need to, but I just want to get up a little bit further, just so I can build more minerals and research. At this point, minerals and energy are right up there, so I really probably won't focus too much on the minerals. Once I get a few energy productions, once I get a few energy productions going, I might focus entirely on research. That way, the energy will maintain the research buildings. Minerals aren't affected by research. Sorry. Excuse me. That's better. So, as long as I've got my energy up, I can maintain my research buildings. This is my research sector, and that's the only reason I put the research nexus in here, and also the sensor array. Sensors and research kind of go together. Also, this is the I had the constructor in this particular system when I first discovered Dyson Sphere. I think it was in this system, and that's why I built it there. But for the most part, I want to keep the mega structures in the back corner here, because if anyone's going to attack me, they're going to come through here, and they're going to have to fight to the back, or they're going to go through here to fight to the back. So that's the reason I've got my mega structures in here, as well as, I think my constructors just happen to be in this general area. I can't really remember. I played so many different versions of this game, it's hard to remember what was what. Yeah, so I'm hoping that, I'm just sitting here doing nothing really. I'm just hoping that I can upgrade my fleet. My main goal is to get my fleet up above the 110,000 mark, so that I can attack the enemy. At this point, I can only put another 2 ships in my fleet, but I can grow another 11 ships here. But ships actually cost different points. So corvettes are 1 point, cruisers destroyers are 2 points, cruisers are 4. So I think it goes up 2 points every ship level. Let's have a look. Okay, let's start with the corvettes. Okay, so a corvette is fleet. Doesn't say. I might have to go to the build menu. Okay, oh yeah. Also, they've actually changed the shipyards. So your star system starport is where you starbase is where you'll build your military, and then on your planet you've actually got a starport, and that will build any civilian sort of ships. So if you want civilian, you just go to the starport on your planet, and if you want military, you go to your starbase in your system. So corvettes cost 1 ship size, destroyers are 2, cruisers are 4, battleships are 8, titans are 16. Titans are your mega ship. Let's have a look. So battleships used to be the biggest ship. As you can see, it's got a military might of 3,819. This one's 12,100, so it's close to 4 times the military power. Even though it hasn't been in battle, I've gotten research and bonuses from the Shroud, which is an extra dimensional force, and it's given my rank boost. Hull points are 14 compared to 4,600. Oh, that's actually to do with the build, not the actual ship itself. But there are upgrades within your science where you can actually upgrade the whole hit points for each class of ship by a certain percentage. The upkeep cost is 16 energy and 33 minerals, 7 energy and 15 minerals, but that has dropped due to the Shroud giving me maintenance cost buff. So normally I'll get about 2 Shroud visits per gameplay, so hopefully that will happen. Did the constructor? No, the constructor still haven't finished. So hopefully that will happen. I can actually show you. I like to show at least 1 Shroud visit per video, so it actually shows you the bonuses. So if you only choose 1 random video and you don't know what's going on, hopefully the Shroud will pop up. I re-explained pretty much what I've done with the ring world here. I found a fallen empire. It was destroyed, and what I did is I just made this ring world purely for energy and mineral output. And that's the only reason my energy and minerals are good. The only reason oh, there's the Shroud visit. Awesome. Let's have a look at this immediately. Let's get distracted like I always do. So you'll have 3 options normally, and it's red, yellow, and green. Increase firing rate. Okay, let's have a look at our ships. Okay, firing rate. Where's that? Fire rate is 49%. Fire rate, okay, so 49% for my fire rate. 44%. Okay, so 49%, and if this works, it will actually say there's a positive sort of outcome. So it did work. So this should be above 49% fire rate. And the fire rate is 69%, so it's gone up 20%. Now I noticed that my evasion, if you look down the bottom, the fourth from the bottom is evasion. The last time I got that, it went up to 60%, but now it's down to 30% again. So I don't know if the 69% will eventually wear off, or it's a permanent thing. If it's I used to think that this shroud visit thing was really good, but that could explain why my minerals are jumping all over the place, and my energy. Because if it wears off after a certain amount of time, then obviously it's not really worth it. But I was like, for the last few videos, I was like going, yeah, get this, it's perfect. But if this is only a temporary effect that lasts for a couple of years and then wears off, it might not be entirely worth it. I'll have to wait and see. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Next time the shroud pops up, I've got to remember to check my fleet to make sure that's still 69%. Okay. Alrighty, so that's ready to habitat. The habitat's ready to colonize. And now you can see I've got a size 12 world, which is actually an orbital platform with a size 12 world on it. Alpha Centauri is the capital of this sector, so when they're ready, they'll send a colony ship over to colonize it. So I'm just going to go into the system, see if there are any more planets I can... So that one, you'll see... Oh, wait. There you go. Okay, so I can't... I think that might be the starport rather than the mining station. I'll have a look. Oh no, it's the mining station. Okay, so you can build the sensor array on a mining station on a star, but you can't build the habitat on a mining station on a planet. But you can build it around. I wonder if that will just add... No, it wouldn't, because it can't go up to 25, so... That's another thing I've noticed. None of the planets have less than 10 squares. The smallest I've seen is 12, I think. I don't think the world's like when you colonize a random planet, it can have as little as 3 squares, but I haven't noticed any small ones that I can remember. I'll have to go through my list. Okay, that's more than 3. I don't remember there being anything. That's a habitat, so that's going to be 12 for sure. Okay, this is going to bug me until I check every single damn planet now. That's a large one. Why won't you? There we go. Large. And I haven't used the edict. With the Unity, you can actually get a perk here that helps you grow your planet by 1 to 3 squares. And there is a mod there where you can actually research that and get this 1 to 3 squares over and over and over again. And there's also a mod where you can open all 20 perks of this. So I might actually, my next playthrough, I might actually use mods. Okay, they're fighting still. Okay, the sensor array is finished. So that took about 25 minutes. So if I'll go back to Earth, scroll over a little bit, that sensor array can be upgraded again. Now it's costing 40. It costs 20 energy per level. So the next level is going to cost 60. And then the last level will be 80, but I've got more than enough energy to maintain that. So let's get out of there, have a look here, go back to the constructor. Okay, so he sent his colony ship, it's being colonized. Okay, so it cost me 5,000 energy, but he boosts my research, my empire research by 10%, and I also get, well, it only goes up to 100, but it's to start off, that extra 20 really helped, but for now it's doing nothing. But to help with the research, yes. Okay, so as you can see, it didn't go up to 700, so it's not that I was with them that my research jumped. It's already up there, so I don't know where that extra 100 went. Okay, so hopefully that sensor array might actually be finished before I end this video. 20 minutes? 20 odd minutes, I think. Yeah, and they do roughly go for about an hour. It just finished building the last one. So in 20 minutes it will build, and then after that I'll build it again. I'll try not to pause the video because that's just going to freeze it up and take longer. But whenever I get research, I normally pause it quickly just to check what I've got, and then I'll play again. Okay, so as you can see, the constructor builds the outpost or habitats, but nothing actually grows in here, the habitats, because it's within the sector. So let's scroll down to factions, get rid of that, don't really care about that. Sectors, Alpha Centauri has 8, but once that habitat is colonized, it will have 9 planets. Okay. Will it tell me? Oh, I was hoping that if you clicked on one of these, it'll tell you what it's actually doing, but this one's my energy, that one's my research, and that one's my mineral production. Does it actually say what my output is? I don't know. Okay, so constructor, let's scroll back up. Constructor's almost finished, so I can build another planetary habitat. So that will help with my population growth and my energy output. The only thing that is negative on this, like every habitat I colonize, my naval capacity goes up. But there's also a negative impact on the research. For every colony you have, there's a penalty to the research. As you can see here, 48 systems. I don't exactly know how the penalty is worked out, but for every system you own, so for every outpost you put down, you get a what was I clicked on? I can't remember what I was. What was I on that I showed you the negative? Oh, here we are. Dumbass. Okay. So for each system, you get 2% penalty, obviously. I don't know exactly how it's calculated, why it is this way. You'd think that with each planet you would have this integrated sensor grid that would just increase exponentially into getting your research more powerful. So I'm not entirely sure what the canon is behind that. I'm assuming it's like you can't grow too fast and wipe out the empires. But you would assume that if that's the case, the harder the game you play, maybe the penalty would go up, or not, be more effective. But on an easy or standard, I haven't changed the game level of play, so it's on the low level. So for that penalty to be that high for planets and systems, I'm not entirely sure why they went that way. I'd assume like as you play further into the game, it might actually go up. Like if you play a different level, the penalty might be higher. I'm not entirely sure how it works. But 32 planets, that's what? 155 divided by 32. So 5? 15? Yeah, so 5 I think. 5% per planet. But if you focus all your planets in a sector on research, that 5% kind of wears itself down to, a no percentage loss. You basically just maintain. So what you want to do is try to get enough energy to maintain, and then build. Okay, so let's... Okay, that's another one that's finished. Let's have a look. Okay, they're finished colonizing. So I'm going to... as you can see, they're not building anything. So these people are starving. Well, not starving, because even though it's -3, I've got an extra 169, which dispenses itself around the galaxy automatically. So instead of having any negative growth, you're going to have positive growth because the food is there. Naval capacity, that's what I want, 100%. I want to get that all the way up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is for them, I'm going to build... so they're building a leisure district. I'm going to build a... also, these things do not have the standard buildings. They have their own special buildings for this particular thing. So I'm going to build a paradise dome. to give them food. I think I need to build 2 actually, the Paradise Dome and a farm should be enough because I've upgraded the food output. So these upgrade differently from your standard farms as well. They don't upgrade as much. But I think with my food percentage upgrade, this should be enough to feed them. So I want to put a mineral production right next to it. Oh, right there. And a solar panel. Solar power. So basically, you can see in the background, you've got a glass roof with a land. So it's basically going to send sun through there to the solar panel. Okay, there's specialty buildings like the leisure centre. And also... well, that's just the farm, so it's not really... the laboratory complex will just output research. I'm not too fussed. I might just put one here for the sake of... I've lost 5% of research. I'll put one research there just to maintain the research level. And then the rest of this... visitors center. Alien. So this will just help aliens from other sectors visit the planet. It's already 100% habitable because it's an artificial structure. And again, it puts out unity and energy. So energy output, so I'm more than happy to build that. I think you only get one of each of those, the leisure center and that. The gene clinic, it puts out a bit of research, and I don't care about the unity. The maintenance is only 0.09, so this solar panel, I'll build another one. I think it puts out 6.5, oh 6. So more than enough energy, and I will, don't need it. Already got one. What's this? Oh, this transfers. Actually, it's. Hang on, what's this? It's changed. It was 50 to 40. Okay, while I've been playing, the game's updated at least once, so this has changed. So I will get 45 less energy, but more mineral. But I'm not going to build this in this sector. If I'm going to build these anywhere, I'm going to build it in my mineral sector. It doesn't really affect the mineral output, but whichever sector it is, it's going to be 30 minerals no matter what. But I want to focus purely on energy here. And then, as you can see, it's 45 energy and 6. This produces 6. So I've got to build a whole heap of these to power one of those. And that's why in the minerals sector, I will build like a full row of these. And I think, is that? That's upkeep. So whichever one it was that outputs more energy. So I will build the energy plants here. The stronghold. Again, maybe for the unrest, but the unity I don't need. And unrest, I haven't had any. I've been playing the game for 22, so 339 years. I haven't had a single unrest on any of my planets. So I don't need that. But it also helps defend the platform from attack. So I'm just going to go with solar panel, because this is what this whole sector is all about. Energy production. As you can see, they haven't colonized the second one yet, so they do take their time. They don't focus too much on anything really. It's a very slow process for them to colonize their own systems. So that's why I come in and do what I can to boost certain things. So that's building there. And I'll show you. Oh wait a minute, what's this? Cannot build a minor planetary body. Oh, okay, so habitat. So, what mega structure can you build on there? Why would it activate unless you can build a mega structure on it?
Research complete.
Okay, so I'm going to build on that planetoid mega structure habitat. Research, weapons damage, armor. Bam. So as soon as I see the armor, I'm going to choose that above weapons damage because they will put out a lot of damage, and if they can take more damage, that's even better. Ah, I'm now the leader of the Empire again. So I will upgrade all my ships. See, I don't know where this upgrade came from. I haven't researched anything that will upgrade. The percentage should be a empire-wide benefit rather than an upgrade you have to use. So I don't know why. These will upgrade because they come from other systems. These aren't my ships. These ships are from other empires. So I can upgrade them to my level because I'm probably one. I think I show you here. Yep, we'll go up to the top. So these are all part of the empire. So we're all friendly. But if you look at this, my fleet power is inferior, but my capacity is superior, and the technology is level. So we'll have a look. Inferior, pathetic. So I'm pretty near the top of the alliance with technology. So I can upgrade the ships they send me, and when they get them back, they should, by all means, have the technology I gave them. So they should be as strong. Oh, 70. Okay. I see now my ship's gone up to 93. It's jumped 10,000, and I don't know why, because I haven't finished the upgrade. So where did this extra 10,000 come from? It makes no sense. It jumps up and down randomly. Very confusing. Okay, so where's my constructors? Oh, I have to go up, 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 up. No, there it is. Where is it? Oh, there. Okay, so there's still another one here. Oh, oh, wait a minute. What? This sector sent a colonizer over. I thought they only colonized within their own. Oh, did he send it? No, if he sent it from here, it would have gone there. This one came from over here. What's this? Well, basically, I've built up that platform, so obviously there are buildings that are built with no life forms on it. Uranus habitat. Oh, he's transferred, so this one will start building a population soon. There we go. I think it takes about a month. But this population has transferred to this habitat. You can see here the migration. So 3 different colonies have sent a random migrant. So that's so you don't really need that this center, because all the planets are overpopulated pretty much, and they're trying to find new places to live. Does that mean the thing is finished? Oh, awesome. So my consumer goods dropped by 20 credits. Okay, I don't know if this is going to be a permanent. Oh, dropped by 5. Oh yeah, for 100. So 10 years. For the next 10 years, my consumer goods will be save 20 credits for now. But for each new population, for each new population, it goes up a point to half a point. Sorry, to match it. Okay, so that's another thing. If you're going to increase your population and your energy, you've also got to increase your population in your minerals to maintain the consumer goods, and the same with the research. And that's why I'm saying you've got to build a bit here, a bit here, and a bit here. But for now, I've got way more than enough energy and minerals that I can actually maintain just building research. But I just want to get the bonus energy from this sector for now, and then put that into this. So even though I had enough, I put a bit more in, just so I could build more here. Oh, whoa, what's this? Why did, oh, that power surge revealed excess minerals I hadn't seen before. Okay. Awesome. Let's have a look. Is that, no, it's not in my list yet. So maybe once, is that finished upgrading? No, it hasn't even finished upgrading. So it's some sort of power surge revealed excess, but it's only one system that has it from the looks of it, unless the constructor's already built something. And again, population has moved from a planet. At the end of this month, when that gets to 30, population will start growing here. Oh, why did it slow down? Didn't it? Not just my imagination; it slowed down. Boom, there you go. So that population has moved to that second platform. So let's have a look here. The second one in. You can see that it's still building. So it wasn't that one. So where did they move to? Because that was already full, wasn't it? Oh no, they're still migrating in. Okay. Oh, the shroud. Always like to pop this out as soon as possible. Get it done. Increase evasion. Oh, okay, let's have a look at the ship. See if it's still 69%. Where's my ships there? Yeah, fire rates drop down again. So obviously it's not a permanent thing. But I think the so obviously this wasn't as good as I thought. It doesn't actually say that it's only going to last for a few years. Boom. It says that we got the evasion. That's all it says. It doesn't say it's going to end. Oh, 60 months, giving the following effect right there. Bam. See, I just clicked yes and accept. So it's been telling me the whole time it doesn't last. Okay, so maybe that's not a benefit. Maybe it's not as good. That could explain bits and pieces of as to why my fleet. Yeah, it's gone up again. That's probably why my fleet. But still, 20,000 damage. 20,000. That's and again, I don't think the shroud was active on some of them. So, like, the shroud will sometimes affect other aspects of your empire, not just your fleet. I don't think it affected my fleet last time. So I don't know why that it's jumping around so much. Okay, they're still in flights to a specific... actually, I think they might be going to my ring world. Are they? Yeah, the ring world's the closest. See, they're going to go to this wormhole, Stargate, which will travel them, send them halfway across the galaxy over here to upgrade. So this one's already there. So once these all upgrade, I'm going to merge them into one fleet because I can get to it 200. Oh, that one's already at full. So I'll merge these two into one fleet. Wait a minute, how can it be above? I said their fleet capacity must be above 200 to get 260. But as you can see, mine's 198 and my power just jumped up. The shroud affected it earlier, made it 97. So where does the extra 3,000 come from? I do not understand this. What's going on? It's very frustrating. Ah, jeez. I tell you, I am frustrated as to what is causing that. It doesn't explain it. If it does, I must have missed it because I'm not... Just like the shroud said, 60 months. Okay, that's almost finished. So at the very least, we'll start building the last sector. If not, have it finished by the end of the video. I think I'm going close to 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So I'm going to go an extra 5 minutes. So that'll be 50 maximum. Okay, it's ready for colonization. So this one is almost done. 2 months. So this one's finished. So I can get this constructor. And I've got one. Yep, got one building there. So I'll build one here. So what's that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 habitats. That's 60 new population. Again, for each population, you get a negative effect on your technology. You get a positive effect on your fleet balance. Actually, that didn't go up. 54 from population. Base is 20, so that's... Did that go up? That didn't go up, did it? It was always 20. Or was it 207? I know it was 1 off from 8. That's what my mind thinks. It's 1 off from 8. No, when I see the 9, did it go up 2 or did it stay at 9? Ah, apparently we're at war. So this war thing, it doesn't have anything to do with it doesn't have anything to do with the swarm, the scourge. Weapons damage, so weapons rate of fire, attack speed, unless there's something else. Nope, attack speed it is. Cool. This has to do with a war they've decided to have against this little thing. Where are... Actually, I should. Can I get there? Oh, they're a mechanoid. Where is... Oh, I can't zoom in on there. I don't even know where they are. Let's look for little red ships. Oh, it's the Empire that's... The mechanoids that's split in here. So they've actually got their star bases back and they've... pinned them into a corner. Now, the thing about this is, if I destroy this fleet myself, this empire gets their world back. I don't actually claim that world for myself, I claim it for them. Which is frustrating, because I joined a war somewhere around here. I think it was here actually. I claimed all this here, but then this guy got it, because they used to be his worlds, and because we were friends, he got his worlds back. So what's on this? Okay, so they're at 100% war exhaustion. We're at 78. So once that gets to 100%, the war will automatically stop. Because the entire population, even though I didn't even know I was at war and I haven't actually done any fighting, my population's already sick of the war, which makes no sense because I wasn't actually fighting in it. Did this pop up yet? I don't remember. It must have. Okay, so yeah, I get distracted very easily, obviously. So this is the last one. So I don't know how far this array is searching, because I don't. Normally, you can click on a ship. You can see the little green bubble here. Before the patch, when you clicked on the ship or a planet, let's have a look at Earth. The bubble disappears. So in the previous game, when you clicked on any thing that had a radar attached to it, all the other radars attached to it within your empire would show you what your visual thing was. But as you can see, it only applies to the one thing you've clicked on. Now, I don't know if that was an accident, they accidentally deleted that, or it was on purpose, but I preferred to have that green bubble so you knew exactly where you stood. So if I clicked on here, this system, you can see there's no green bubble to tell me what it sees. Let's have a look, the outpost. Let's go back to sector view. Yeah, it doesn't see anything. There's no bubble. So I really prefer to have that bubble show me exactly what I'm seeing. Therefore, like, really, you don't need a bubble bigger than that sort of thing. So if the technology comes to upgrade your sensors, should you? You don't know, because you don't know what your sensor output is for a large portion of your empire. Yeah, the ships need the sensors, because if they're at war, they need to know what they're up against, and they can flee from, if the enemy is here and you're here, you can flee away from the enemy. So ships should have the sensors, but this, even though it does have that sensor bubble, it doesn't actually show you where the sensor bubble is. So I'm not sure if people complained that there were too many lines in the way and it interfered with their gameplay, but there should be an option to turn that on or off for your own personal play, I reckon. It shouldn't be too hard to turn on and off something. Like, you deselect that, it's off. You select it, it's on. So I'm sure there could be an option in your settings menu that actually deactivates or activates that bubble. So I'm not sure if that's the reason why. That's the reason. Unexpected rising some clock. Okay. So this is what that other scientist was working on, making the computers faster. Okay. Okay, for 84 months I'll get this, but this says we can't risk it. So sometime within the next 84 months, I reckon I could have a complete system failure and lose my research. But I'm willing to take the willing to take the risk, because I don't have anything to research apart from excess levels of damage. So I'll do that. My research should go up a bit. And again, once I finish getting all these habitats built, I will focus on what do we call it? The research sector, getting my research right up there. Solar panel, mineral output, farm, laboratory just to maintain my science for that population, gene clinic for science, and also happiness. I think it was happiness, wasn't it? What the hell was it? I'm not sure what the administration operations is, minus 10%. Go speed. I'm not sure what that actually does, to be honest, but it's got research on it. I need to get my research balanced for every population. So, yeah, got that. Not using that, got that. So pretty much this is my energy output. I don't need it, but it's backup. Backup for when I build my... I'm just going to go from system to system to system and just build outposts, or habitats all the way through. Yep. Tributes. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to build habitats all the way through and boost my research, get my research right up there. So even with these few small systems, I've got 400 coming out of this little sector. Well, maybe 300, because the other couple of hundred probably come from these two, because I haven't built a lot of research. And on the ring world, I bypassed the research and just built mineral processors on them. So a lot of my research is coming from this sector. So if I put habitats in here, I can quadruple the population within here, and that means I'd quadruple the amount of research coming out of here. Hopefully. That's my plan. Let's see. Okay, I can upgrade this again. Why? What am I upgrading? It doesn't actually say. It says ships will be upgraded. It doesn't actually tell you what's being upgraded onto the ships. Now, if I've researched the weapons, why are only the destroyers and cruisers being upgraded? Why aren't the entire fleet being upgraded? So what did I get, and from where, to upgrade the ships? I am completely confused. Wait a minute, I think I figured this out. The corvettes, no, the cruisers, yeah. The cruisers and the destroyers might have rockets, but because they increase the damage output of my energy weapons, they now realize their energy weapons might be stronger. So I am going to quickly check my ship designer, then I'm going to save the game and exit out. So let's have a look. Corvettes, they can't really use energy weapons because they don't have a strong enough energy output to maintain the level needed. Yep, so they can only get +9. So if I upgrade the energy output, they can't build it anyway, but the destroyer has a bit more power to put into the energy weapons. So they might have replaced one of these projectile weapons with an energy weapon. Same with the cruiser. Yeah, so I think they've replaced one of these with this, because now they realize this can do more damage than that can. So that, okay, so I've been playing, what, 30 hours, close to 30 hours of this game, and I've just realized now why this is jumping all over the place. Again, if A-Spec is watching this, because I've asked him to, I haven't asked him to watch, but I've asked him a question about that. If he's clicked on that my link and come to my page and seen this, I think I figured it out, but I'm not 100%. Okay, let's merge these two. Merge these two. Yep, and then select both of them, and we'll send both these fleets on a suicide mission here. Make them both aggressive, and they'll attack anything. Once they get to here, they can be attacked by any of these, so they'll just go in here and attack anything. So 140,000. Yeah, so they can easily take on any one of these fleets by themselves. But once they get to the second fleet, they'll be pretty much halfway wiped out. So they'll take on one fleet and attack the other. So once I get my sensor grid up, what I'm hoping is all these will turn white. I can send my fleet up, destroy this, build an outpost, and just slowly work my way in, building up my own empire here. With them fighting, once I get the outpost built, I'm going to turn it. I'm going to upgrade. See, I completely forgot about the upgrading the star base. the whole point of this video was to upgrade the starbase all the way through to show you the different levels, and I completely forgot because I got distracted. So once my sensor array is fully built, yeah, it didn't change a thing. Once my sensor array is fully built, and if these go white because of it, I'll send my fleet up, attack, build a spaceport, upgrade it to a cathedral, build as many weapons platforms on it as I can. As soon as I got the starport built, I'll repair my ships, build any ships I need. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the game now. I've got to remember to check the colony and build the things I want on there. Okay, so I'm going to save the game. Exit to desktop. Okay, so I'm just going to show how I always in my videos. I'm just going to show you that the platforms I use are here. Have access to are here, plus arc. I can't get the symbol to save there for some reason. The games directly under the symbols are the ones directly related to that platform, and the ones I've brought up are the ones I've started to play. I think I'm going to do Anno. I was going to do RimWorld or Galactic Civilizations, but I wanted to go away from Steam into another platform to show you that different platforms have different games. Now, I don't know if Anno is also available on Steam. I'll have to check that at some point. I think I'm going to start playing Anno. I haven't played that one for a while, and I found that a lot of fun. It's very tedious work. Very slow game. As you may have noticed, I like the slow, tedious games. Stellaris, Galactic Civilization, very similar to Stellaris. RimWorld is a planetary build. It's you crash land on a, so it's like Subnautica, but you crash land on a planet, and it's a 8-bit. I think it's called an 8-bit game where the graphics are from like the 70s and 80s. It's very low res, very you have to nitpick at every little thing. Your civilization has to have enough food to maintain itself. It has to have enough defense because it can be attacked by other settlements, wild animals. Sometimes the animals in your area will just go mad, be some sort of madness attacks them and they go after your civilization. So RimWorld's very good. These ones are just tedious. You have to build a specific farm. Once you get to a certain level of agriculture, then the industrial people come in. And for your agriculture to go any further, your industrial has to go up a level to build a specific item that the farming people want. And then once the farm can go up another level, they'll build a specific food that the industrial people need. And then on top of that, I think it's a financial. Food, goods, and money. I think they're the three things. But to get to the third one, these two have to be up a certain level to produce the goods to feed this. And then for this to get to the last level, this one has to produce that last icon for them to feed off. And yeah, so the game is very tedious. So once you finish that, you go on to the next game, which is set 200 years in the future. And once you've built the population on the planet, I think the buildings have changed. I can't remember because I played that a while back, and then when this started I played it. I'm pretty sure the buildings are similar, but once you get to a certain level, instead of having different factions on the same island, you've actually got to go around the world. So you'll have a farming continent, which will send food to an ice continent, but in the ice is a special mineral that produces energy, and this energy can be then transferred to the moon, and then the moon will build certain things, and then the moon will produce its own nuclear energy, so it will supply the energy needs of your planet, of Earth. But to supply you that, Earth has to send constant shipments of food up, and then the moon has to send constant shipments of specific minerals down so that the Earth bases can upgrade to a next level. So all these different bases interact with each other, and you can't upgrade one without upgrading the other. So that one is more tedious than the first one, and the first one is extremely tedious. And then StarCraft, I just like space games in general. XCOM is an alien invasion of Earth. Might and Magic, I might not bother with that one. That is extremely old. I think they're up to like 15 or 16 now. This is 10, and 10's not my favourite by a long shot. They changed a lot in that one. Command and Conquer, everyone, even if you've never played it, most people have heard of this one. I'm pretty sure it's the same people that created StarCraft because the graphics are very similar, but I'm not sure. I'll have to get into the game menu and see what the production team was, and I have never actually watched that. And then Star Trek Online, which is an endless game. The only reason you'd start a new player is if you're sick of the player you've got and you just want to start fresh. But this is a endless game. It's play as you want. You can do a science build, an engineering build, or a tactical build. You can be humans. I'm sorry, the Federation, which has like 15 different species within it, and then you can create your own species as well. The Klingons, which have conquered different species, so you've got a handful of species there, plus you can create your own. The Romulans, who are now wanderers. Their home world has been destroyed and they're looking for a new one. But the Romulans have Remans and a couple of other species. And like the Federation, they have the Ferengi because they've joined, but I think the Ferengi can also be the Klingon and the Romulan because they're like more of a they're not part of the Federation. They're just very friendly with the Federation sort of thing. So you can actually have I think it's a Ferengi, but I think they changed some of the species swap outs with update about a year ago, and yeah, they keep updating the game with new stories, and that's a really good one. If you're a Trekkie, it sticks to canon pretty closely. Anything after Voyager arriving home is different. That's where they've continued the story, and that's what they've done really well. They've continued the story, but they've kept everything canon in the storyline, and they've just built on top of that. The only thing that would destroy this game, and even then it wouldn't be destroyed because it's a different timeline. It's Star Trek Online. It's a different timeline from the original Trek. So if they were to build another Star Trek TV series based after Voyager, that might interfere with the storylines here. But even then, it's a brilliant game. They've done a ton of work in there. It's really good. Okay, so I'll just end by saying I'm looking for comments, not likes and subscriptions just yet. If you would like to subscribe, it's awesome, but I'm looking for comments on how to build my channel, make it better, suggestions for games and platforms to use. Please keep it the conversation civil, and I'll see you in the next video.